Okay, here is our happy Chinese lantern we are going to be drawing today. Remember, today is just our drawing day. Today is not our coloring day, but is what he or she will look like towards the end, at the end, after you have a chance to color it in, all in. So let's get started. First thing we're going to need is not this dirty piece of paper. Yuck. I'm going to put that paper underneath. All right, my friends. So our lantern is kind of round. But I want you to know that I did not make up this lantern all out of my imagination. I learned from somebody else, which means that mine looks a little different than theirs did, and yours is going to look a little bit different than mine does. And I'm glad for that. They're all going to look a little bit different. Should we get started? Yes, please. Let's get started. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is have my paper in front of me, tall and skinny. And I'm going to make a little line from the top. This is going to be the piece that my lantern is hanging from. So it's just one little line at the top in the middle. It's not over on this side. It's not on this side. It's right here in the middle. And I am going to draw a line, a horizontal line, this. And I'm also going to see if I have a Sharpie that works a little bit better than this one. The next thing I'm going to draw is two vertical lines going down from the top of that horizontal line. Oh my goodness, Sharpies. And then once you get that done, I bet you know what comes next. We're going to draw another horizontal line to join these two vertical lines. And then way down, I'm going to go start at the middle. I'm going to measure down to about here on my paper, further down, and I'm going to make another one of these long rectangles. The shape is a rectangle. I'm going to make another long rectangle down here, and that's going to be this bottom part of my lantern. So I want to make sure that I'm leaving space for this area. We're making this rectangle right here, but make sure that you leave some space at the bottom to put his decorations on. So here, let's say right about here, this looks good. I'm going to draw one more long horizontal line. I'm going to draw a vertical line, and then I'm going to join them with another horizontal line. So far, it doesn't look anything like a lantern. Let's help him out a little bit. Now you're going to use a curved line that's going to start here and go all the way down here. So if you want a really fat lantern, then you're going to make your line curve out very far. If you want to have a very skinny lantern, you are going to make your line curve out not very far. So it's up to you if you want a fat lantern or a skinny lantern. Sometimes when we make our curved line on one side, it might not be exactly the same as the other side. That is okay. If that happens to you, don't get worried about it. That is part of what's going to make your lantern special. So I'm going to start, I think I like a pretty fat lantern. So I'm going to make a nice big curved line down. And you might need to turn your paper to help you make your curved line the other way. I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to curve it again. So you're starting at this corner and you're going to this corner, and then you're starting at this corner and you're going to this corner. You're not going to these corners down here. So I'm going to trace it with my finger one more time so you can see. And give you a second to do that. Okay, we should be pretty well caught up now. The next thing we're going to put on our lantern is his adorable eyeballs. That's right. His eyes are nothing more than two circles, and I know that we can draw a circle. Our circles might not be perfect circles, but that's okay. Our lantern doesn't need to be perfect. He needs to look like our lantern that we made that we're learning how to do, right? We're not experts on lantern making, we're learning how to make lanterns. So I'm gonna make one eyeball right about here. I'm gonna make one eyeball right about here. Maybe you want your lantern's eyes higher up, that's fine. I like mine a little lower. I think he's super cute that way. So here's one big circle eye. And once you've got that big circle eye done, guess what we're gonna do on the other side? The same thing. So on this side now, I'm gonna make another big circle eye. I got a squeaky Sharpie. Oh my goodness, it looks a little, he looks like a robot right now. Let's help him out and give him a mouth. His mouth, we're just going to start with a little smile like this. It's not going to be too far down here. We're kind of put it in between his eyeballs, which seems strange, but it's going to work. There, one tiny little smile inside his eyeballs, and we're going to make him have a very wide open, excited mouth. So I'm going to draw a U shape that it's going to start here, not at the very end, but a little bit inside. It's going to come down like this and then go back up. There. That looks a little bit better. Now, what does he need inside? He needs a little tongue. Boink, boink. Just like that. It's just like a little letter M, or maybe you've drawn a seagull like that. He's starting to come together now. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to make our lantern have some stripes. Why are we going to make him have stripes? Well, when we were learning about form and we were drawing our pumpkins, instead of drawing our pumpkin lines straight up and down, we made them curved so that our pumpkins would look more 3D, right? More like they had form, big form, not a flat shape, but a form. So we're going to be doing the same thing with this Chinese lantern. So we're going to be starting here and drawing a curved line down. Now, what do you think is going to happen if I have to go over his eye? I'm going to stop at his eye, jump over it, and then finish down here. I'll show you an example. One, I jump over his eye, and then it's going to curve in. So you noticed I did not make my line go straight down. I made my line curved. What am I going to do on the other side? The same thing. There. I'm going to give him another one. And once again, if I come close to the eye, I'm going to jump over it, finish. Oops, look, that went to his mouth. I have to jump over his mouth and finish it that way. So it looks like it goes all the way. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, jump over his eye and come down that way. Right? Great. So let's make his decorations down here. These are like strings or tassels. Sometimes they have beads on them. We're going to give ours some beads so they look really fancy. So we're going to start by making 1, 2, 3 lines. Notice that my middle line is long and my other 2 lines are shorter. At the bottom of these 2 lines, I'm going to give him a little bead, just like that, something shiny. And then right here, I'm going to do the same thing on this longer one. If you would like to make him have some more, you can do that. Let's see, but whatever we do on one side, we're doing to the other. I'm gonna make this one have 2 beads. That, oh, that is fancy. This must be a really fancy lantern. And the next thing we are going to do is give him his cutie eyeballs. So we're going to make him have some sparkles in his eyes. We're going to make it one big circle, and a smaller circle right next to that. Now, I bet you know what part we're going to color in. we're going to be coloring in dark this color. So you color in this color, I'm sorry. You're going to color this part of his eye all in. And you're going to do the same thing to the other eye. And my marker is dying. So let me get a colored pencil. There. So you're going to color in both of his eyes dark, and you're going to leave the smaller circles empty. You know I don't like white pieces of paper, but this part is okay to be white. And then we're going to color in our happy Chinese lantern next week. Miss Kay will make you a video next week of how we're going to color that in. But for today, we just needed to get him drawn and get his eyes colored in, right? All right, my friends. Thank you, and we'll finish coloring them next week.